Up next, we share with you a growing trend in the business arena here with regard to investments overseas. I have Ji Lee here in the studio for details on that. Ji, welcome back.
Good afternoon, Sunny.
Right, so do start us off then.
So today we're going to be talking about domestic venture capital firms that are investing in U.S. startups led by Korean American entrepreneurs. That's because Korean investors are noticing that successful Korean American entrepreneurs are investing in their time, money, and advice on other entrepreneurs of Korean heritage, leading to positive chain reaction. The aim is to build bridges between Korean and American venture capital ecosystems, as well as to identify future unicorns. The term was first coined by Silicon Valley-based venture capitalist Eileen Lee back in 2013 and refers to a startup with more than $1 billion in valuation. San Jose-based Primer Satse Partners is due to finalize its second fund after raising 150 billion won, or about $127 million on November 19th. The fund is aimed at investing in startups founded by Korean American entrepreneurs. The VC is a result of Silicon Valley's Satse Partners and Korea's first startup accelerator, Primer, joining forces back in 2018. The co-founders of Satse are Lee Ki-ha and Greg Kwang-no Kim, who put together a $43 million fund and invested in some 50 Korean American startups. The second fund's main beneficiaries will be companies in the pre-seed to Series A funding. The initial ticket size will range between 600 million and 3.6 billion won, or between 500,000 and $3 million. Ticket size is the amount of money a single VC invests, whereas round size is the total amount invested into the company at a single time. Now, these CEOs will not only make financial investments, but also provide management advice to startups led by fellow American entrepreneurs of Korean heritage.
Right, and speaking about that, Ji, do tell us a bit more about these startups led by Korean American entrepreneurs.
Sure, so if we're talking about the bigger startups that are investing their time and energy into mentoring smaller startups, let's focus on the big kahunas, namely Fiscal Note, Sandbird, and Noom. Tim Hwang launched Fiscal Note in spring of 2013 while still finishing his degree at Princeton. He deferred his attendance to Harvard Business School in order to start the company with two of his friends from high school. Valued at $1.4 billion as of May, the company is slated to debut on the NASDAQ in the first quarter of next year. Since its beginning as a state legislative tracking service, its clientele has expanded to include the Central Intelligence Agency, or the CIA, and the EV maker Tesla. Corporate messenger platform provider Sandbird and subscription-based healthcare startup Noom have also joined the ranks of unicorns that are stakeholders in the second fund.
Right, I see, the CIA. I was just thinking, I heard that interest in such ventures, G, is also being shown by government-run entities here in the country as well.
That's right, and it's very unique that it's happening at this point in time. So wholly domestic and even state-run financial institutions are looking to invest in Korean American startups. Korea's Smilegate investment is big on investing in startups in the U.S. even though it doesn't yet have an American arm or affiliate. In late August, it participated in Sweet Technologies Series A funding worth $17.8 million. Sweet is a provider of its namesake digital team collaboration tool. Other notable Korean American-owned startups include ad tech company Moloko, maker of robot server Bear Robotics, AI-based forklift controller Motion to AI, and virtual reality content provider Amaze VR. Investments like these are also made through locally incorporated companies. Korea Development Bank, a state-owned lender, recently announced it will launch its own venture capital subsidiary dubbed KDB Silicon Valley in California. It's the first time a state-run Korean bank has set up a VC subsidiary abroad. KDB Silicon Valley, which has been open for over a week, began with a total capital of $100 million, and in the initial stage, it will invest only with its capital, but plans to expand its investments through financial leveraging. The country's biggest VC, Korea Investment Partners, and KTB Network, which is slated to go public next year, is also betting on the U.S. startup scene. That's all for me today.
All right, G, as always, thank you very much for that report.
Thanks for having me.